Hey guys, it's Absolacario2213 here again, and I know it's been a very long time since I made one of these videos on my channel, but I'm hoping in 2020 I'll be able to make weekly regular videos like this. So on to today's topic, with Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Red and Blue having a remake in March this year, which is called Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Rescue Team DX. That's a very long title. With that coming out, I thought it would be fitting to make a top 5 list of spin-off games that I would love to see on the Switch. So yeah, stay tuned for my top 5 Pokemon spin-off games that I would love to see re-released or revamped on the Switch. Number 5, Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness. This one is a little unique, as I think it would be cool to have a sequel to this game rather than a direct remake per se. Kind of like how Pokemon Colosseum was the first of the series, then XD was the successor. These GameCube games were a lot of fun and had features that weren't in any other main series title. The graphics are so much better on the Switch, and I think having another game like Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness would be amazing to see. There was so much playability on Pokemon XD with exploring towns, purifying the shadow Pokemon, and tons of epic battles. Plus, you could transfer Pokemon from XD onto your Ruby, Sapphire, or Emerald games. It was quite a tedious process, however, but with today's technology, it'd definitely be a bit simpler. Number 4, Pokemon Dash. Pokemon Dash was released on the Nintendo DS in 2004. Pokemon seemed to have released heaps of spin-off titles during the time Pokemon Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald were released, and I think this era of Pokemon was my favourite because of that. I remember Pokemon Dash being such a random but fun game to play when I wanted a break from the main series games. You basically race around an island trying to get checkpoints by flying around on balloons and running around on different terrain. It was a light-hearted but fast-paced game that I'd love to see back on the Switch. It'd be great to have multiplayer on Switch, and even online play would be cool. With 8 generations of Pokemon and just under 1,000 characters in total, there would be so many great Pokemon to race around and explore new islands with. Number 3, Pokemon Pinball. I remember being in primary school and playing the original Pokemon Pinball game where you had to put a battery in the back of the cartridge for the built-in rumble feature. Then a few years later in 2003, the Ruby and Sapphire edition came out. I spent hours playing this game and trying to catch them all. The challenge to hatch eggs, catch legendary Pokemon, and go into the bonus levels was so much fun, and I loved it. I remember always trying to beat my high score and seeing how long I could play without losing any Pokeballs. Each pinball game had 2 boards, featuring either Red or Blue for the original game, or Ruby and Sapphire for the later game. If the Switch came out with a Pokemon Pinball game, they could have so many different boards featuring all the games due to the large capacity of the console or cartridge. There are so many possibilities they could do with the new pinball game, seeing as it's been about 17 years since the last one. Number 2, Pokemon Ranger. When Pokemon Ranger came out back in 2006 on the Nintendo DS, I was pumped to play as a brand new type of Pokemon trainer and be able to see Pokemon in the overworld. The catching style was unique, as you had to use your DS stylus to make a bunch of circles around the Pokemon you wanted to catch. It was so much fun exploring the Fior region and doing each mission with my trusty companion Plusle. After the first Pokemon Ranger game came out, 2 more sequels came out around the time Pokemon Diamond and Pearl were released, called Pokemon Ranger Shadows of Almia and then Pokemon Ranger Guardian Signs. All 3 games were a lot of fun, and I think the Switch would be a great console to bring these games back to life. Pokemon could even release an extra controller, like a life-size stylus to catch Pokemon, similar to what they did with Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee with the Pokeball controller. Number 1, Pokemon Snap. In my number 1 spot is of course the Nintendo 64 classic Pokemon Snap. Pokemon Snap is by far one of my favourite Pokemon spin-off titles. I spent hours and hours trying to take the perfect shot of a Lapras or a Zapdos, or any Pokemon for that matter on this game. It was always a challenge to try and get a high score with Professor Oak, and each level was so cool to look around and to see wild Pokemon everywhere. I loved how the Pokemon reacted to what the player did, like throwing an apple would lure a Pokemon out of a hiding spot, while playing the Pokeflute made Pikachu use Thunderbolt. Even the mysterious signs in each level were an exciting find. I think if Pokemon Snap had a remake or even a brand new sequel to the original, then people would be pre-ordering that straight away, because I know I would for sure. So that concludes my top 5 Pokemon spin-off games that I would love to see on the Switch, or maybe remade in the near future. If you guys agree, or if you have other things to say, like games that I missed that you love, make sure you pop them down in the comment section down below. Hit that subscribe button, like the video if you liked it, and I'll see you next time. Thank you so much for watching.